Okay, hello everyone. I'm Audrey.
I'm Sophie.
Okay, we had this like genius idea. Okay, backstory, I guess. Basically, almost a year ago. Okay, right now we're in Connecticut. We just went to New York, and Sophie's moving to New York. But basically, a year ago, basically today, we were living in LA together over the summer. You can go watch the past vlogs, and we wanted to start a podcast. And so we filmed a first podcast episode. It was going to be called Where We're At, and then we realized doing a podcast is really difficult, and so we never caught up with it. But I have the first episode edited and done, and we haven't listened. We listened to it like when it was done.
But I don't remember
a year ago, and so we're gonna listen to it today. But I remember for the premise of things, we were talking about like moving to a new place because we had just moved to LA for the summer. Mm-hmm. We talked about like we're both out of state for college. We both moving to UT, and now like Sophie just moved to New York.
Yeah, and we talked about how I was going to my senior year, and now I just graduated.
So I feel like it'll be fun to listen back to, and we just like honestly had a like 15 minutes of panic because I thought I had it, and then I thought I didn't have it, but we found it. So we're just it's gonna be our reaction, I guess.
You can't wait, I'll hold your mic.
It's not edited.
Oh, because it doesn't have the intro.
Okay.
I made like a GarageBand one.
So this just must be the raw.
But that's fine because I can edit this to be like.
Okay, this is where we're at, and it just that will come more naturally as the podcast goes. So that's where we're gonna start. We are in LA, and we being my name's Audrey.
I'm Sophie,
and we're roommates in LA. We're here for the summer. It's like June.
It's June 21st, so this like is like exactly like a year ago, which it doesn't feel like a year ago. Oh, I really had to cut a lot out.
So.
I
remember saying
so we moved
so much.
How long have we been here? Like
in LA?
Yeah.
I think almost 4 weeks now.
Like it gets better.
It, like,
I agree. We actually give advice. Like I'll probably just like cut this part out too because
and then as I was like go
because this isn't gonna be interesting for us to like reflect back on. Probably also why out of state people.
Okay, so moving here to LA.
Yeah.
How is that different from moving to college?
I find it very different. Also, like for a little bit more background about my moving experiences, I was abroad all of last semester, which was like a whole different type of moving. But that kind of was easy in the same ways that freshman year was easy, just because it's new for everybody. Like my program was really small, and so we kind of were all in the same boat. But with that in mind, moving here, I hadn't been home for 4 months, and I got home on like a Saturday and came here on a Monday. So it was just a super quick transition, which I think made it more difficult. Also, for me, I think Audrey and I are in different stages right now, and moving here means something different to both of us. Yeah. Because for me, my major is radio, television, film, and so I want to have a career in the entertainment industry, and obviously LA is where you do that. And so this for me was figuring out whether LA is where I want to spend like my post-college life. So it's kind of a lot of pressure.
Right.
And then I'm also thinking like, where am I going to get a job? All of that stuff.
Oh my gosh, like this is the summer that I'm in.
It's not like moving here isn't just like, I'm now a year later, like, not living in LA, and I don't have a job.
But you're going to get a job.
Yeah, no.
But like, I was telling Sophie this earlier, but like, I feel like this summer I keep thinking about post-grad, and I think that's such like a summer before senior year. So hearing you be like...
And I don't even know if at that time I was actually stressed.
Right. Okay,
like,
so
I think I was just talking about it. No, but it doesn't even. Maybe it's just like the attitude I have about it, because I'm like, I know I'm going to figure it out. It's my decision whether or not I get, like, or it's my, like, what my actions determine whether I get a job. So it's like, if I'm trying to get a job, I'll get a job.
Yeah. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, you moved to New York.
Right. I just moved to New York last week. Because after this, I don't know if I talk about, like, if I like LA, but I realized...
think at this point you're still, like, undecided.
Right, because you only lived there for 4 weeks. But I ultimately decided that it's not like I didn't like LA, but I just didn't want to move there post-grad because New York was just more appealing.
It is fun.
Like where I want to live.
Yeah.
Long term.
I feel like for me it's little like, oh, just fun summer in LA. Like obviously I'm thinking about like, do I want to live here? But I still have like a whole 2 years left. Yeah.
So it does not feel a year ago.
And there are also like a lot of, I think it just depends on really what's going on in your life, whether moving's going to be easy or not. I mean, we're both in long-distance relationships.
Yeah.
But I've been in a long-distance relationship from, like, the U.S. to Europe for 4 months. Right. So, like, that obviously makes it harder and just, like...
I completely agree. We were in both
we were
in long-distance relationships. I don't know why I, like, forget that part of LA.
I forget that same. That, like, you would go... Well, you didn't really go home.
No, I would come visit, or he would come visit, like, twice. But I don't remember... I don't know why I didn't think that you were in a... Like,
because when I went to San Diego...
I know, when I look back on that time, like, I don't feel like we were in, like...
I know.
Because it just doesn't feel real.
It just doesn't... I don't know. It doesn't feel real.
It was, like, this whole, like, 2 months of, like, fakeness.
If I would have done this program without you, I can't imagine, like, what it would have been like.
I completely agree.
We were friends before this.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't addressed that.
We're actually in the same sorority, and I'm her big.
Yes.
So still working on the background.
So we knew each other, obviously, and we're, like, living together, and I don't, like, it would have been much harder.
Yeah.
But it also, like, there's everyone else in the program that is in the same boat, so it would have still had that, like, community feel.
Yeah, it is different. I think moving to, I mean, it's kind of like half college and half real life.
Right.
What we're doing this summer, because we have internships and we're taking classes through our school. But I feel like it airs more on the side of, like, real life because we're not all living in the same place. We're pretty scattered around LA, and LA is a big city.
Yeah.
And so I agree. I don't know what I would have done if you weren't doing this program, because I don't think I'm really anymore at the stage in my life where I, like, want to make friends.
Yeah.
As bad as that sounds, like, obviously I do, but I'm not like freshman year me where I was, like, trying to make friends with anyone because like that was just what you do freshman year. And I think that's what everyone says about, like,
I think I'm talking so
moving
much.
to a new city as
that's
an adult.
That's what you said the first time I listened to it, but I
don't
don't
literally
think so.
how.
I also was asking
and that's
questions.
hard.
True. I'm just not engaging
and
with
I
you
think,
at all.
like you said, we're not living.
And I think that's what everyone says about, like, moving to a new city as an adult. Like, how do you make friends?
Literally how.
And that's hard, I think.
So moving here for me was easier. I mean, it was pretty easy physically, because I literally got that in-state experience of driving all my stuff down.
I'm so jealous.
It was, like, so much better. Like, literally I packed, like, the night before, and I just grabbed everything in my closet and just
it is like there's is a lot of perks to living close,
that, like,
closer to home.
It did not make me rethink going out of state. That, like, made me it did not make me rethink going out of state, because I loved going out of state. But I realized, like, okay, life would have been easier if I went in state, because, like, it's so much less to think about. And I have my car here. Like, I don't have my car in Texas. I will next year, but I haven't for the past 2 years.
Yeah, I got a car.
That's, like, a whole nother thing too.
True.
Like, so that, like, driving down here was really great. And I also, like, am kind of familiar with LA. Like, my grandparents live in Orange County, so kind of used to that aspect. And I'm from California, so I'm used to the, like, California vibes. Also, like, I didn't have to get used to the prices of things,
right?
Whatever. But it just doesn't really feel like, it doesn't feel like I'm in LA. I don't know why. Yeah.
What does it feel like?
I don't know. It feels like
It's so true, Audrey. What does it feel like? The one question you asked me was a good one. What does that mean? Doesn't feel like I'm in LA. Well, let's see what I say.
Just doesn't really feel like, it doesn't feel like I'm in LA. I don't know why. Yeah.
What does it feel like?
I don't know. It just feels like I'm just
I don't
kind
know.
of like.
That's so crazy, because this is so different.
I think we continue
to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I feel like I'm living a completely different life.
It just feels like I'm on, like, it feels like I'm on summer break, but it just feels, I don't know if it's because I have my, like, home car.
This made
So
sense.
that's why it
I
just
do
feels
too,
like
though.
I'm, like, yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. I think it's also, like,
Probably the mentality we're in, too.
totally. Yeah.
You're probably thinking about everything a little bit deeper than I am.
100%. Yeah. I feel like every single night I have a crisis. Because
like, I was just, like, in this episode, and I don't know why I guess I felt this way, but I was just like, I'm here.
Yeah, whatever. I guess
Summer
that's how I
break.
felt the summer before junior year too.
But I do, like, your crisis every night. Like, I think about post-grad daily now.
Really?
And, like, last year I didn't think
At
about
all.
it.
Yeah, and I don't even remember having a crisis every night. It's a little dramatic.
Well, I think I remember being like, well, let's do it.
because I'm just thinking, like, I mean, this isn't really, like, this is kind of off topic, but, like, well, it's not really, because it's where I want to move after college, but because I live really close to New York City, and all my friends are moving to New York City after college. And so I'm like, how am I going to get it? If I want to live in New York City, how am I going to get a job in New York City? Because I'm now working in LA, and it's all about connections. Yeah. And like, so I think I'm definitely putting more pressure on this. I also think that like it's a bigger adjustment for me, maybe because I'm not from California.
Right.
And I've also only been to LA like 3 times before this for like 3 days each. And so like the adjustment period is different than it was freshman year, because freshman year my mentality was different.
Yeah.
And so like the time it took for me to adjust to a new city was like filled with like a bunch of fun college things. But here we kind of just, I was just kind of like dropped here, and like I'm just living life as if I've lived here forever.
Well, and I also think there's that like ticking time that we're only here for 2 months. So you're kind of like, I have to do everything. Yeah. And I have to like figure things out. Yeah. And I think for me too, like I think the California thing is correct, because I like go to my favorite coffee shop fills that I have at home, and so it feels like I'm at home. And like going to my favorite sandwich shop and stuff like that, so it just feels like I'm home from the summer, because I have those things that are like
I finally
foods and comfort things for me.
That's so important when moving somewhere, to like find things like that, because when I'm home, I mean, I've lived in the same town my entire life, and I have like the places that I crave even when I'm at school. Yeah. That I just cannot wait to have when I'm home. And it's like a routine every single day. I get coffee from the same place. I get bagels from the same place. My Chinese food restaurant that I love is like the same. It's been the same since I was like 7. And then here I'm like, I don't even know where to get coffee. Yeah. And that's so overwhelming to me.
It's overwhelming in LA because there's literally so many.
I don't even know where to get coffee. Help!
Oh my god, it's so dramatic.
That's so like privilege problems. Like I
don't even know where to get coffee, and it's so overwhelming.
I don't know where to go buy my $7 latte.
Oh my
that you order the same thing like the iced oat milk latte.
I get the same thing everywhere I go. It's like doesn't make much of a difference.
I don't know where to go.
I was just trying to prove my point.
No, it was a good.
There's literally so many places, and there's so many different neighborhoods too that you can't just like get recs from people, because it could be 40 minutes away.
So true. And I feel like that's when I became like super comfortable in Austin, is when I like had my comfort food places. I agree, and like my coffee shops that I liked. And that sounds like such a trivial little thing, but it's like really important to have like your go-to places that you can,
like things that you're excited about, and like, that make it feel like home. Like this is like my place. Yeah,
like I have my places that I'm excited to go to when I go back home to Connecticut. I have my places that I'm excited to go to when I go back to Austin.
I think at this point we like take a
pause real quick. How do we know how long we've been
Wait, pause real quick.
Pause.
A little bit about your abroad. Would you recommend going abroad?
Totally. It was such an amazing experience.
Do you like think of yourself that you moved to France for a few months, or do you think of it like,
because you're in France longer than you were in LA?
Honestly, it feels like it didn't happen. Yeah. Like, I literally don't feel like I was there. Okay, there are a lot of thoughts I have about going abroad. I had an amazing time, and I'm really happy I did it, but a big factor in my decision to go abroad was whether I would feel like I was missing out on school, because I love school, and because of COVID, we missed out on like an entire semester basically. Maybe even like a year of normal a year of normal college. And I do think I felt that way a little bit being there. I was like, I kind of wish that I was at school this semester.
But this is because you want to do. This is because at this point you hadn't gone back to school.
Exactly. And I think now that it's been a year, like over a year since I got back from abroad, I would not take that back for anything. And then I did another year, like senior year, and I don't think I ever felt like I regretted going.
Like at the end, you still felt like you had.
I think by the end, it's tough. Graduating is tough because I wanted so badly to be like ready to graduate and be like sick of college and ready to get out into the real world. And I don't think I really felt that way until the very end. And then I think what I was worried about when I said that I was like missing out on a semester of school is that would make me feel less ready to graduate, because
that makes sense.
I didn't have as much time in school
to like get sick of it almost.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, college, as fun as it is, like could get repetitive because you are just like doing the same things. And when you get to be like a senior, it's like, I feel too old to be doing this stuff. And I still still felt like that despite going abroad. But I also just don't think I would have been prepared to graduate no matter how long I'd spent at school.
Yeah, because I mean, it's still just like, it's a big change. But that is interesting that you said that.
Go abroad.
I also feel like those experiences, like you going to France and then coming here, sets you up for moving in the future.
Yes.
Because you have, like, same with me when I moved in 8th grade. Like, I felt way more comfortable moving to Texas because I already had that experience.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you just need to do it because it's going to set you up.
Exactly.
But, I mean, like, even you don't have to go states away, but like going a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Will, like,
you have to push
later
yourself
on.
out of your comfort zone.
Such
or
good
else
advice.
you never are. You're going to be stuck in the same place.
And I think, like, back to deciding for college, like, you have to look at the reasons why you don't want to go somewhere, because if it really is just because, like, you're scared of the distance, then that's a reason to push yourself. But, I mean, obviously, if it's, like, for financials or the school, then, like, it's okay to stay close
I
to
mean,
home.
we're not saying, like, you can't be in your home state.
But, like, if you're debating going far away and, like, that's why, just because you're a little bit nervous, and that's, like, completely normal.
Yeah.
Literally everyone feels that.
Yeah, for sure.
Glad we cleared that up.
Any suggestions to make it easier?
We already did this.
I feel like
that's like all we're
talking with people online before you go
Mm-hmm.
makes it, not that I really talk to anyone once I actually got there.
So true.
But it just starts to feel like it makes it less scary that, like, if you didn't have anyone to talk to, you probably could reach out to that person on Instagram.
Looking back on those conversations that I had before college is the funniest thing. What did people call it? Glirting? Like girl flirting?
Oh my
Have
God,
you never heard that?
That makes so much sense.
That's what all of my friends would call it, because we honestly, most of my friends went out of state, so none of us really knew people, so we were all trying to find roommates. Because I chose my roommate. I didn't have random roommates freshman year. It was sort of random, actually. Anyway, it worked out, so that's all that matters. But so we would just like DM people on Instagram, like find through like mutual friends or whatever. And like the conversations, it's literally like you're just trying to impress them.
Yeah. So for context, there's like Facebook groups and like Instagram accounts where you all post like, I'm going to UT, I'm going to be a freshman, I'm this major, I love to hike, I love to shop. Like, it's like the randomest.
No, what everyone says is everyone's like, I love a night in, but like always down for a fun night out. It's like everyone
says the same thing, and it tells you nothing.
Literally nothing.
Especially when everyone says it. So yeah, you like do a little blurb, and then like you'll reach out to people on Instagram based on like, oh, like
maybe we have
played soccer
would have been helpful
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
And I always thought of that as a friend crush.
But you're right, because like it's also a good like icebreaker sort of when you're meeting people and you're like, I'm pretty sure that we talked on Instagram, and then you'll be like, oh my God, that's so funny.
That's
like,
so true.
Whatever.
The weirdest part though is when you like find people like 2 years later.
Yeah.
Like at like sophomore year where you're like, oh my God, like we talked but we haven't met each other since. Like,
so
does she know who I am?
Yeah, I know. That's always so awkward when you like pass someone like on campus and you're like, we follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I've had like a 2-day long conversation but like never met in person.
But that definitely makes it easier.
Yes, definitely do that, because then you feel like you like everyone does it, so you're not going to seem weird.
No, totally not.
Big suggestion. Also, like, do your research before going in on like the city. Find places you're excited about trying. My roommates and I were really good freshman year about like getting out and doing things, and like we said, just like going and trying new stuff is like the most fun part about going to college in a new place. Even if it's a new restaurant, like that's the most fun thing to me is trying new food. Yeah, make like a bucket list or something. I don't know.
That's such a good idea. Oh my God.
Any other suggestions? I'm trying to think. Also, like, orientation will probably help. I never had orientation.
I didn't think orientation helped.
Oh, really?
Personally.
Not even like familiarizing yourself.
Actually, no, that's so wrong. It did help, but I guess I'm saying it didn't help because like I don't like, and this is not to like yuck anyone's yum, but I don't like I don't like icebreaker activities. I don't any of like the orientation stuff. Like orientation itself, I don't think helped. Like,
right.
Because I think all that stuff is a little bit stupid.
Well, imagine sitting for 7 hours on Zoom doing it.
I can't imagine. But it was nice because I actually think there's a girl I met at orientation. I can't remember if we had talked before. Maybe not. I don't remember. But like her and I went and we got our like cowboy boots together and we did like explore the city a little together. So it did help because it's a little bit less like it was a low stakes environment.
And then a tip that I just came up with, just thought of, because I've said this before, but like always say yes to things.
So true.
And also invite people to do things. Like don't just wait for an invite. And also invite people to do things. Like don't just wait for an invite.
Yeah.
Because chances are other people are just waiting for an invite. And so be that person that will be like, hey, I found this place, let's go here tomorrow at 5, are you free? And chances are they are free because no one does anything.
Exactly. If they say no, it's not the end of the world.
And don't take it personally. And also like a lot of like relationships that start freshman year is you'll hang out with them once and then you might never talk with them again, and that's okay, but that's how you like find your friends and just meet people. Because I feel like I went out to eat with my roommate with a lot of different people, and like I never talked to them anymore. But like it was something for us to do. It got us out, and they could have been my best friend. But they weren't, and that's okay.
I actually introduced Audrey to her best friend.
Oh my gosh, she did. That's such a good story. So also, this is context, but like we're in a sorority, and that also helps find friends a lot.
I was gonna say like join clubs, but that's a bit hypocritical because my sorority is like the only thing I have, and that was enough for me. So I'm not gonna be like, join as many organizations as you can, because I'm literally not in a single organization.
I agree. And we're also not gonna be like, rush a sorority, because I don't think you like necessarily need to rush to make friends.
Not for everyone. At all.
That could be another video we could talk about.
That was like us trying to like foreshadow that we were doing a sorority.
We had it planned.
We had been there. But basically on bid day, which is like right before the first day of school. So we had been there for like a little over a week, but during rush you like don't talk to anyone really. And so
like anyone in your same like age group is
like you don't really have time to like go out and like explore, because all day you're doing rush. And that might have also been different because it was on Zoom. Like in person you probably meet more people, but still it's like through rush. So bid day happened, and then the day after Sophie invited me to dinner, and then her best friend invited Klein to dinner. She's my best friend now. If you're following the links,
because we didn't have like rush in person. Like we had just been Zooming.
Oh my god,
So like we had talked, but it was like
we didn't have any. You didn't have any in-person bid day activity.
So we just like hugged outside of Pizza Press. I remember. Oh
That's
my gosh,
so
like
weird.
that feels like that was like such younger versions of ourselves.
Like I was a baby. You were a baby.
I was like literally a high schooler. Basically.
Wild, but you were older than me.
And then you also like asked Klein to hang out after or before? Or
like so what happened was UT does like the light up tower thing. And so we were all planning on meeting together like later that night. And so I was like, well, do you want to walk to the tower? And so we walked. She invited her roommates. I invited mine. So we like all met. And it was like so good.
And like that was such a good idea to like do something like a little bit more than what the original plan was. Because
that's like the best thing when you're hanging out with someone. Make plan, like if you want to hang out with them again, make it while you're like with each other. Like, oh, look, I want to do that too. Let's do that next week.
And also like that was a good point where you said like Klein brought her roommates and you brought yours. Like always like join groups together. I mean, it might not always work out, but like that's how you like can form like little friend group.
And the first
that's the night I met like my current roommate.
Probably the first like week your roommate isn't probably gonna be horrible. Like I feel like usually roommates always start off like friends the first week.
True.
At least.
And then it could go either way.
And then who knows?
We sound like such podcasters.
Okay, so I think
we're
that's
really
all we
good
have for today. But we're gonna try to end every podcast with, we start it with where we're at, and then we're gonna end it with where we're going, our goals. Just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of loosey-goosey right now.
Anything of like substance.
Where we're going, we're just going to make this the focus of starting a podcast. Sophie is technically my co-host. And we have fun topics planned, kind of revolving a lot around college and just our lives. Because it's not really college-based, but we are in college.
And we're like normal college people. Because like sometimes... I mean, I'm sure that there's another podcast out there that exists that's like college people who are like college age people that are in college, but like we have just like very normal college advice to give.
And you
are ready to
never
share
get
it with
you
all.
We're ready.
Also,
and
on that
stay
note,
up here.
That, I've never done anything in this field, so don't judge me.
Oh my gosh, they're not judging you. I can already tell that you're gonna be amazing.
Oh my god, thank you. This is my dream. I love talking.
Really?
No. Audrey's making my dreams come true.
I'm going to have a confession for the end of the podcast. Okay. But I have been, like, thinking about this podcast probably for 3 months. And in my mind, I always envisioned you being on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so flattering. This is a real confession. I've never heard this before.
Because I didn't want to be creepy before it actually started, and then I didn't want to do it. Yeah, I didn't want to pressure you into doing it. So I really was just like, I didn't text you about it.
No, you didn't at all.
Before. And
me being like a mastermind.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'm so excited.
But I even like told people, like I started like not being able to keep in my excitement of this idea we had because I knew we would be so good at it. Yeah. And so I started telling people, and like I think I'm gonna do it with my big. And like,
oh my God, that's so
you literally had no idea.
They're just my friends.
Well, thank God it worked.
Yeah. So on that note, we will see y'all next week.
Yes.
Another.
Thanks for listening.
Where we're at
next week.
Bye.
Bye.
A year later.
Yeah, here we are. We just, like, actually genuinely never sat down and did another one.
No.
And
I was always down.
No, I know, but it was like we couldn't find a good time.
Yeah. We also never posted this one.
Right.
We took a cover photo and everything. Mm-hmm. I also feel like part of it was, like, you were never happy with the cover photo.
Yeah, I think it was just, like, too, like, you need more than a month to start something like this. Yeah. And then we would have never gotten, like, settled into routine because then we were moving to Austin.
I know.
Back to Austin, we were living in different places. But maybe one day. Bring it back. It was cute. It sounds cute. Way better than I thought
like,
it would.
Sounds pretty high quality.
Yeah, like, we sound like podcast. Like, I keep saying that, but it's true. Like, it sounds like the voices that I would listen to. I think just the topic was, like, we said good things, but...
I know. It's one of those things that I feel like when you think about like Emma Chamberlain's podcast, she just sits there and talks about herself and like her own opinions for an hour, but so many people listen. Obviously it's because it's her.
Yeah.
But I feel like since it's us, like obviously I don't care about my own experience moving because like it happened to me, but other people might listen to that and be like, oh, this is really comforting to know that someone else has gone through this. Let us know.
Maybe we should start a long distance pod.
Year. Yeah, we could do it on Zoom.
It actually would be a great me like scheming again, but like it actually would be like senior year plus post grad. Like,
well, I was gonna say it could be like what would we talk about? Just like we would just talk about like and
like it would be a way to like catch up with each other.
So true.
Comment down, give this video a thumbs up if you think we should start a podcast. I don't like the name though.
Really?
I don't know. Let us know
if this video gets 1,000 likes. We'll bring it back.
Honestly, even if like 2 people say we should, I'm like, maybe we should. Maybe we should. But thanks for watching. Yeah. I'm like so happy we found this. That was so cool.
That was fun to listen to.
Yeah.
And I stand by everything I said.
Me too. Or no, the abroad one.
Oh yeah, except for the abroad thing.
Go abroad. FOMO. Go follow me on Instagram. Request Sophie. Maybe she'll accept you if
you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.
Bye.
That was good. That was so good.
Ow, I need to like take these earrings out the next time. I need to know how long that was.
I know. I don't know how to figure that out.
Wait, now I want to record one every single day.